Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Let's just get into it. The point is, I want to talk about how I talk to myself. I'm sure a lot of people do the same thing. I've never had an original experience, so I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm so weird because I talk to myself. Maybe I am, I don't know, but I literally talk to myself all the time, every single day. When I'm getting ready, bestly when I'm in the car, when I'm doing fucking anything, I'm talking to myself. And you know what's so funny is when I talk to myself, usually besides when I'm in the car. When I'm in the car is when I'll really own talking to myself and just be fully acknowledgeable that I'm talking to myself. When I'm like getting ready or just any other moment I'm talking to myself, I'll act like I'm talking to my audience, which I think is so ironic in a way because I literally have done this since I was born, like talking to myself. And it's always been like, hey guys, so today we're going to be, hey guys, okay, get ready with me for whatever. And I've never recorded it. I've never filmed it. I really don't enjoy the editing process. Yeah, so I've always been talking to myself. And like, it's funny now because I started a podcast, obviously, and I feel like it's been right in front of my face to use this to my advantage. I will say, though, what I'm doing right now, I am talking to myself. There's just a camera. I'm still talking to myself. There's just a camera recording me. And for some people who do this, that makes them feel like, I guess, less alone. I don't know. I always have done really well in front of the camera because I know that it's just me. And I've never had this revelation, and literally until recently. And I feel like it's been in front of my face this whole time to use this whole talking to myself, conversations with myself angle to reach maybe a wider audience, just to make my podcast more personable, give it more personality, give it more of a tie to me and who I am. And I don't know. One thing I will say is I don't really know how to take this and use it to my advantage with social media. I've got a few ideas and I've posted a few things and I don't know, dude, my views are just so up and down. I don't understand what it is. I guess that's just how it works, that's how the cookie crumbles with social media is you just don't know. You don't know what's going to work or what's going to hit until you post. And that's why you have to post so much to just find out. Okay, I get it. I started a series. I don't know if you've seen it on my social media. If you have, that's awesome. And I hope you watched it. I hope it entertained you. Because that's what it is, right? It's I have to have people be entertained to follow me. And it doesn't seem... Okay, I'm going to be nice to myself. It's not that I'm not doing that. It's more so, I guess, that I don't know how to do that. I don't know. Some of nothing has gone viral. I will say that. Let me tell you the cutest story though. So I was talking to my little sister and she was like, yeah, I went viral recently. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? She's like, yeah, I posted this video and it was about volleyball and I got over 6,000 views. And I was like, wow. That's really sweet. And she's right. Imagine 6,000 people in a room and you're performing for them. You're keeping them entertained. I would be so freaking scared and nervous to talk to 6,000 people in one room. I always am constantly raising the bar for myself and in turn am constantly always making myself feel exhausted, not good enough, maybe I'll never reach my goals. And that sucks I will say, you know, I feel like I've been doing that for now 21 years and I've made space for it. You know what I mean? Like it hasn't gone away. I've just made space for that constant feeling. I don't know. I gotta lower the bar. I've been trying to, you know, I had this whole conversation with my uncle when we went to dinner about how, you know, the problem is me. Mm-hmm. It is. And I know that the problem is me. And I had this amazing conversation with him, honestly. And I would like to think that I was very self-aware. Like, I was like, you know, I know the problem is me. I know that, like, I will get in these... Sorry, I'm trying to put the mic somewhere. I know that I'll get in these moods where I post all the time for like a month, but then nothing goes viral, so I stop posting for like a month because I tell myself I'm tired, and I tell myself that I can't be posting all the time. And then the month will pass and I'll get back into posting all the time, and it's the same cycle because nothing goes viral, nothing hits, whatever. You know what's really unfortunate is I've literally had videos go viral. I don't want to say I've been viral, but I've had multiple videos go viral. And sure, maybe they had nothing to do with the podcast. Sure, maybe, you know, one of them was like on my main account and not my podcast account. Like, sure, there's all these little things I can complain about and go on about with excuses for how it, you know, it's still not good enough. Like, it's still not good enough. It's still not good enough. Let me tell you something. And this is gonna suck for me to say out loud, but it's been in the back of my mind for, you know, a minute now. And I think this is just like what it is like, I'm not gonna be successful until I don't constantly feel the need for external success. It's just not going to happen for me. It's not going to happen for me until I don't need it. Maybe I don't even want it. It's just not going to, like, yeah. It's not going to happen for me until I understand that I don't need millions of views, millions of followers to be successful. That's where, like, I'm at now with posting on social media and all of this. You know, it's not going to happen for me until I do some self-work, some self-reflecting, some understanding about how, like, you know, if I feel like I need to be fulfilled by external validation with likes and comments and followers, I'm never actually going to feel fulfilled by that. And I'll tell you why. Because as soon as it happens, what am I going to want? More of it. I'm going to want more of it. I'm going to want to do it on the largest scale it can get to. And then I'm going to get to the largest scale and still not feel fulfilled because it was never about the actual likes and followers and comments. It was about something deeper, having to do with external validation. And it's hard. It's hard to, like, you know, I want this so bad. I want the podcast to be on the scale of, like, Call Her Daddy. I think of a podcast like Therapist, the Jay Shetty one, the Call Her Daddy one. I want that. I want to achieve that. And it's hard to see me achieving that because it's like, oh, I'm just this girl from Florida. Like, I'm just this da-da-da-da. You know, I'm sure they all maybe felt that way too. Oh, I'm just this random, ordinary person. That's what it takes. It takes a random, ordinary person. And the one thing different about them is they are fucking determined and constantly consistent. That's all it takes. And then I question myself a lot. Do I have what it takes? Because I'll go a whole month without posting, and then I won't even post a podcast episode, you know, consistently either. Do I have what it takes? I'm constantly questioning myself. Do I have what it takes? Can you do this? You know, can you place yourself outside of who you see yourself as and do it anyway? Can you work on yourself while you're trying to achieve this thing that is in a way, very materialistic with, the external validation. I'd like to think I can. I do. I'd like to think I can. And, something I tell myself all the time. I've had so many conversations with myself about this, where it's like, it seems like for everyone it happens overnight. And it never happens overnight until it does for them. Think about how many nights went over where nothing happened. There was just a little bit of progress, There was no like exponential growth until it happened one night. And that's what everyone else saw, is that overnight of the big boom of followers and blah, 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 blah. It's about to be year 2 of the podcast. And it's taken people 7 years. In 7 years, I'm going to be 28 years old. Here's another thing I tell myself all the time, and I don't know about everyone, but a lot of people, like Jake Shane and Alex Cooper, didn't happen for them until after college, They were in their mid-20s. And, I tell myself, like, okay, I can do that. I can make it till my mid-20s doing this. I don't think I'm going to make it, though, in my mid-20s if I keep going about this the way that I do. With the on and off monthly posting, with the doing it when I feel like it, when the constantly questioning myself, constantly wanting to go viral, this, that. Another thing I tell myself, create content that you want to see, If you can watch your own content, you're doing something right. Obviously, someone else is going to be out there like you who will watch your own content. Here's another thing I tell myself. I've gotten comments before. I'm so obsessed with your podcast. Oh my God, this video really helped me out today. I love what you're doing. It really frustrates me. It makes me feel in a way like I am so ungrateful, because why is that? That's the thing. I hear that. I want more of that. I have to come to terms with the fact that it might just not happen that way. I just need to be okay with what I have. And that's what it is right there. I'm not grateful. And that's what it is right there. I'm not grateful for what I get to do. I constantly am in love with my life. I love my friends. I love how I got to go to college on a full ride. I love that I get to be here. I love that I get to have, opportunities and experiences, and just like, I've always loved my life. I think maybe the reason why I'm not in love with this aspect of my life, or I'm not grateful for this part of my life, is because I know that there's more out there to achieve with it. I know there's more out there, and I can see it. It's like in the distance, and I'm running, or I'm walking, let's say, because I'm, not doing as much as I can. And the distance never gets closer. Or it's like in my palm, I go to close it and it's gone. And, that feeling is going to wear me out. And it has already, because of how inconsistent I am. I can admit, though, that that's entirely my choosing, right? And I can say, oh, I don't choose to feel that way. But I'm also not really choosing to feel any other way. I'm trying. I will say that I am trying to choose a different way to feel about it. And I think that in itself is a good step. How do you just change how you feel? Like, again, it's the whole overnight thing. Nothing is overnight. Nothing will be overnight. Every day, you need to wake up and choose what you want to work on and what you want to achieve. Let me tell you another story. So me and my best friend Julia, she's been on the podcast before. I'm not going to lie, I may have deleted some of those episodes when I was doing the whole rebrand thing. But if you know me, like you know Julia. So she came to visit for my birthday this past week, and we had such an amazing time. We're both kind of in the same place at the same time. which is very rare in a friendship that's evolving and growing. And so we're both single at the same time. We're both kind of in the phase of like, I don't want a boyfriend. I just like, it's not what I'm into, whatever. And so her and I decided that we're both going to do a 52-week journal. So this is the journal I got for 52 weeks, and we're going to start it this upcoming Sunday. And so mine's about like self-love, self-care, and self-discovery. 52 weeks. I'm going to be so honest with you. In any normal situation of who I am, this book would not get completed. I would maybe make it to like week 4, pick it back up in 2 weeks to do week 5, and it would never get finished. Something that has been growing inside of me, maybe that sounds really weird. Okay, whatever. Something that's been growing inside of me is discipline. Again, I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but I have no discipline, I feel like. Like, I mean, okay, I have to have some kind of discipline with like the good grades and, things like that. But like for my hobbies and things that I want to achieve that I have to do all on my own, I have no discipline. Like working out. I want to work out, but I don't. I want to have a famous podcast, but I don't. And okay, the famous podcast part, like, that's not entirely up to me. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily get to choose if it's famous or not. Okay, maybe that's my problem right there. Is yes, I do. I can literally wake up and be like, my podcast is famous, and I can be so delusional about it, and I'm choosing that it's famous, and it just is because I say it is, right? Like, I don't actually need evidence to choose that. I don't know. I think I need to be way more delusional about the podcast. And here's the thing about it is like, I feel the stakes. And yes, there's stakes I've made for myself, whatever. But like, I feel the pressure I have put on myself to make sure that this is successful because of how bad I want it to be successful. And then it in turn just feels like nothing I do will get there unless it's something I can't control, like likes, comments, and okay, that's another thing. This is why I have these conversations with myself, is because I learn things about myself. I really put things into perspective, and it really helps me. This is why I talk to myself. I've had some of the most fulfilling conversations with myself just by talking out loud. I can't do it in my brain because it will like get cluttered and messy. And so I have to say it out loud. Some people will put it on paper. I think that's a little bit difficult to do. I get like bumps because I'm writing so hard. So I just talk to myself. Again, I've had some of the most fulfilling and just like relief, like filled conversations I've ever had with myself. And I think I'm missing the opportunity to record that because again, when the camera's here, it's no different to me. I'm still talking to myself. And I think, that's why partly I chose the major that I did, digital media production, because I'm great on camera. Like talking to a group of people, I'm a little iffy on. Turn the camera on, she's good to go. And I kind of have always felt that way, and I've never really realized why. And it's because I'm so good at talking to myself, and that's what I'm doing on camera. And so it's no different. I've had some of the most fulfilling conversations by talking to myself. And I forget to realize that I am my own friend. I forget to realize that, like, I am a whole other person who can support myself and uplift myself and tell myself that, I'm doing good. And I do that, but I just don't realize it, like, if that makes sense. Like, I feel so fulfilled when I have some of these conversations with myself because it helps me process my feelings and my thoughts and whatever. And I forget that I am my own friend, and I don't know if I would have had this good as a conversation if I were speaking to someone else. I've been trying to remind myself a lot recently that like, you only have you. Yes, you have friends and you have a community and you have family, but it's like in those quiet moments and in that time where you just don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what's going to happen. You have you. And I use that time to talk to myself. And I've just never put it together that like, this is a way that I make sure I'm good. So maybe you should try it. I don't know. Of course I got sidetracked, but I have no discipline basically. And so I feel like it's been slowly building up inside of me. I've been getting more and more discipline. I've been growing some determination and consistency and and let me tell you why. I'm over it. I'm over giving myself excuses. And okay, it feels rude when I say that I'm giving myself excuses. I do think how I feel is a valid reason, but I think I'm using that as an excuse to not post, and that's where I'm over it. I'm until I do the work on myself, which hopefully this 52-week journal will help me do, I think I'm always going to feel like there's more I can be doing in this and that. Okay, that's just the way it's going to be until it's not. I'm choosing to work on it, and I'm choosing to be disciplined in completing this book because I want better. I want change. So every morning, every day, discipline's been growing inside. Discipline's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm over it. I'm over making the excuses for why I shouldn't be posting or why I'm not. I'm over the excuses for I don't like editing and da-da-da this and da-da-da that. I'm over it. And yes, I want it to go to every aspect of my life, the discipline, like with working out and my hobbies. I'm starting with this. This is my biggest hobby. This is the hobby I care most about. This is the hobby that I see turning into a career. So we're starting with this. Maybe I start small, but this is where I'm like the discipline is fuel. Like this is what the discipline is fueling for, is this. I chose the theme for this year to be disciplined. And I'm not saying that I haven't been disciplined this entire year, but I just am now like fully deciding to immerse myself. I don't know if that's the right word, but to really think about and decide in every situation, am I disciplining myself? And here we've got going viral. This is important. I'm not saying it's not. What I want to understand is that while it is important and while it is essential for where I want the podcast to go, it's not the deciding factor on if my podcast is successful or not. It's not the thing that's going to make or break the podcast. What's going to make or break the podcast is me. Mic drop. Yeah, okay, so let me talk about this. I just had this whole conversation with myself. What's the end goal? What am I going to do differently now having this conversation? Because I've realized things and things have helped me, but if I'm just like, okay, things have helped me and this was great, it's not really going to do anything. Okay, I think what I've realized is I need to just stop thinking so much about all the like possibilities and feelings and pressure of wanting this to blow up. This is something I believe in 1000%. You cannot change my mind. I know my podcast is going to blow up regardless. I just want it to happen now. Let me ask myself a question. Would I be ready for it now? Like as a full-time college student, as someone who's, going to London in the summer and really going to be present in that experience, as someone who is dealing with these feelings now of like the pressure and whatever. If it were to happen now, would I be ready? I'm going to be so honest with you. I literally cannot answer yes to that. I can't. And I can't say that if it were to blow up now, I would be consistent because it blew up. And so I think because I can't say yes to if I were ready, that's another reason why it hasn't happened yet. The universe knows I'm not ready yet. The universe and all the like external energy and like things that protect us and look out for us, they know when I'll be ready. They know that it's going to happen. So much so that I know it's going to happen. And I just need to be patient. I need to be patient, but still determined. All right, so I think that was a good end too. Okay, I need to be patient, but still determined. I need to continue doing what I'm doing, maybe just a little bit more, but not so much more to where I'm like overwhelmed, you know? I need to, honestly, I think I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I'm not doing anything bad. Oh, I will say what I need to stop is the on and off posting, you know? And I get it's like, oh, batch content. Okay, like I'm trying my best here. And I think hopefully that's shown in what I post and the kind of audience I'm building, and it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. I'm banking for a good audience. Okay, sorry. I'm banking for a bigger audience by next year. This is my goal. Post at least once every day. At least once is like, that's kind of bare minimum, but whatever. Post at least once every day for an entire year. An entire year. And just see what happens. If I can put myself out there every day, post one thing every day to be like, hey, this account is here, follow, blah, 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 blah. Where will I be in a year? No on and off posting, no like whatever. At least one episode a month of a podcast. Maybe I have to start smaller. You know, a lot of people don't make a podcast until they're famous. So maybe smaller scale. Maybe just posting a lot and getting a lot of followers and then posting more episodes. There's something here. There's something here worth sticking around for. There's something here worth being determined for and building. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to be disciplined so that I can do that. I know it's in the cards for me. I know it's happening. It's what I do with it. If it's like, okay, I know that that's happening, but I'm on and off posting, what's up with that? That's not how it should work. And that's not how it's going to work. So, all right. This was a good talk. I really enjoyed this. I feel honestly better. Like, I want it so bad. Go get it. It's right there. It's right there. You just have to go get it. You just have to be willing to do the hard work. If you can do the hard work, you can do it. If you're already doing the hard work, you're probably more than halfway there, honestly. Honestly. If you can put in the time to do the hard work, you're already more than halfway there to the goal. But let me tell you, that hard work is going to be anything but easy. And that's why not everybody does it. That's why not everyone chases their dreams or their goals or allows themselves to be vulnerable enough to fail multiple times for the process of achieving the goal. So, yeah. I think I'll leave it with that. Whatever goals or dreams or whatever you have, try it. Just try it. You don't need a whole timeline. You don't need a whole plan. You don't need a whole step-by-step process of how you're going to achieve it. Just do something. Do it consistently, I would say, for at least 2 months. 1 month is not enough. I mean, it depends on how much you're doing it in the 1 month. Do at least one thing for it every day. Do it for at least 2 months. See where it gets you. I'm doing it, so if you do it too, you won't be alone. We'll keep each other accountable. We can do this. And when I make it out on the other side, I'll remember you. I'll remember my camera and me talking to myself and how that actually did what I wanted it to do, which was reach an audience. That's literally all I want. And yes, I have an audience, but I know most of the audience, which is fine. I appreciate that. Yeah. Wow, I just had like a clarity moment. Like, I really am going to look back one day and be like, wow, I was so strung up on like all of this, and I didn't even have to be, because I knew it was going to work out, and I should have just, it's not that I don't trust it, it's that I don't trust myself. And so I get myself all worked up. But I know I'm going to look back and be like, oh. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be waiting for that day. But until then, I'm just going to work hard and do it. Have an amazing day. Hope you enjoyed. Share with all your friends. Don't forget to comment your favorite emoji if you really liked this episode or if you agreed with anything. And I'll see you soon. Oh, make sure to go follow my social medias. I'm posting on there every day. So if I'm not posting an episode, at least you'll still see me on there. Bye.